Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, it is go time with the one and only Mega Crasher, and let's jump into this video because we actually have ourselves quite a bit to talk about here in this important video. And I say important because what is going to be talked about here in this video is especially going to be important for you Moltres fans in Pokemon Go. So for those of you guys that aren't aware about Moltres Day, it is to take place tomorrow on the 8th of September. Now, Moltres Day is going to function the exact same way as the Articuno and Zapdos Day, respectively, where it is going to be a 3-hour event, and every single gym that you see is going to be consisting of an active Moltres raid. And something else, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to know, and is going to be a very big selling point when it comes to Moltres Day, is that whenever you encounter a Moltres after beating it in a raid, you have a chance of encountering a shiny Moltres. And when you compare shiny Moltres to the other two shiny legendary birds, it looks pretty freaking sweet. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to point out that when it comes to events like these, we're going to be taking on Moltres as a level 4 equivalent raid boss. Even though it's going to say that it's a level 5 raid boss, it is going to have level 4 raid boss equivalent stats. So it's going to make things a little bit easier when it comes to battling against Moltres, but that's not the only thing that we have going for us against Moltres, because there are so many other things, but I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself here. So with that being said, let's actually get into the guide portion of the video where I talk about Moltres in its entirety. So now on to Moltres itself. It is going to be having the typing of Fire and Flying, which is a really good offensive typing, and even pretty solid defensively too, as it has quite the amount of resistances, such as a major resistance to Bug and Grass, and it also has resistances to the likes of Fairy, Flying, Fire, Ground, and Steel. So please, for the love of God, whatever you do yourself and do your teammates a favor and avoid using those moves against Moltres. Especially given the fact that when it comes to its weaknesses, it has a very, very exploitable weakness to Rock, okay? Fire is weak to Rock, and Flying is weak to Rock. And given the fact that it's a Fire-Flying typing, well, take a look at that. It's going to end up taking super effective damage when it comes to Rock-type moves. To be exact, it's going to be dealing 196% damage whenever you use Rock-type moves against Moltres. And you also will be dealing pretty good super effective damage, aka 140% damage, when you are utilizing Electric and Water-type moves against it. Now, when it comes to the stats, ladies and gentlemen, that base 251 attack is definitely something to not underestimate, because if you come unprepared or if you end up having frail attackers, then that base 251 attack is going to definitely hurt you. Now, on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, it has base 184 defense and 180 stamina, so it has okay-ish kind of defenses and all that stuff, but those defensive stats will not matter, especially when it's getting smacked by Rock-type moves. Now, if you are to have a 100% IV Moltres and you were to max it out, the maximum CP that it would obtain would be 3,272. So now on to the moves that it gets. I also forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video here, but this is going to be a very special Moltres that is going to get access to Sky Attack, as you could say is a quote-unquote legacy move, because the only way that you're going to be getting Sky Attack on Moltres is if you were to get one from Moltres Day. Now, its standard moves goes as follows. When it comes to its fast moves, it is going to have access to Fire Spin, a very amazing fast fire type move. Now, when it comes to its charge moves, as you see in right here, it's all fire types, with Overheat obviously being the best. We got Fire Blast being second best and Heat Wave being the least best, or I should say the worst, because Heat Wave is, well, it's kind of not that good, you know? It's only 1 bar charge move too at that. Whereas Fire Blast does slightly better, but it's also 1 bar, but Overheat is head and shoulders above the rest, and even though it's only 1 bar when it comes to its charge moves, it's still absolutely amazing as a fire type move. Now, it's kind of a shame that it doesn't get something like Flamethrower, because Flamethrower is probably better than Overheat, because it's 2 bars when it comes to its charge moves. It offers a little bit more flexibility. Now, of course, Sky Attack, on the other hand, that is actually going to be a pretty interesting move to utilize, because that means that it's going to be utilizing both its typings as stab, being fire and flying, and Sky Attack, I believe, is the best flying type move that you get in Pokemon Go, so that is obviously pretty freaking amazing. So now, ladies and gentlemen, after beating Moltres, you guys are probably now wondering, well, wait a second, what is going to be the CP I'm looking for if I'm going to be hunting for 100% IV Moltres? Well, see, that's why I'm here. I'm here to deliver the goods, you know what I'm saying? Woo! Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you were to encounter a non-Weather Boosted Moltres, a 100% IV Moltres is 1870. So that is something to commit to memory. Now, if it was to be Weather Boosted, whether it be by sun or wind, then it would have a maximum CP of 2,337. So those are the 2 numbers to commit to memory the most if you guys are farming for the possibility of getting a 100% IV Moltres. So now, ladies and gentlemen, with all of that out of the way, I'm going to be presenting you guys with the top 5 best Moltres counters in Pokemon Go. Now, for this list right here, I want to add a little bit of an extra challenge, and that is I will not be including legendary Pokemon on this list, because legendary Pokemon by default are most certainly going to outperform non-legendary Pokemon. So with that being said, I present you guys with the top 5 list of best Moltres counters. Coming in at number 5, we have Omastar. Now, Omastar is a bit of a wild card, and I say that because of the fact that it doesn't get access to Rock Throw and Rock Slide because of the fact that those 2 moves are legacy moves, and if it was able to get access to those moves, then it is definitely, without a shadow of doubt, going to be one of the best Pokemon to use against Moltres, especially given the fact that it also has a 4 times resistance to its Fire-type moves. Now, that doesn't mean that Omastar currently is going to be a bad choice, it just means that it's going to be a little bit more limited, because the best moves that it can use against Moltres would be Water Gun and Hydro Pump. Now, those moves are not bad, you know, you're still going to be capitalizing on its Water-type weakness, but if you have a Legacy Omastar with Rock Throw as a fast move and Rock Slide as its charge move, then that is most certainly and most definitely going to be the better option when it comes to the utilization of Omastar. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next at number 4, we have Vaporeon. Yes, Vaporeon, ladies and gentlemen. You're probably thinking, well, Vaporeon, you know, it's not a Pokemon that you see too often because it gets outclassed and all that stuff. But keep in mind, though, ladies and gentlemen, we're not utilizing legendaries here in this situation, which is why I recommend Vaporeon. Vaporeon is very bulky, it's got a naturally high CP as it is, and it also has pretty solid offensive stats as well, and it has a really good and solid water-type combination of Water Gun and Hydro Pump. Water Gun is incredibly fast when it comes to its fast move, and I'm talking very, very fast. It's like rapid fire machine gun, you know what I'm saying? And it will charge up your charge moves pretty fast as well, allowing you to utilize Hydro Pump at a much faster pace than normal, and it will do really good damage regardless, even though it only deals 140% damage rather than 196% damage with rock-type moves. It is still a Pokemon that I would recommend if you are lacking legendary Pokemon, such as the likes of Zapdos, Raikou, and Kyogre. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on to number 3, we've got Gyarados. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Gyarados is, without a shadow of a doubt, going to be a fantastic Pokemon to use against Moltres, not only resisting its Fire-type attacks, but also having an amazing attacking combination of Waterfall and Hydro Pump. Waterfall is a very powerful, fast water-type move, and Hydro Pump, well, there's no 2 ways about it. Hydro Pump is the best water-type charge move that you get in the game, and given the fact that Gyarados has a naturally high attack and naturally high CP as is, you definitely cannot go wrong when it comes to using the likes of Gyarados to take on Moltres. So, coming in the number 2 spot, we actually have ourselves 2 entries, that being Kanto Golem and Alola Golem. Now, these two Pokemon, you could say, are one and the same when it comes to their purpose against Moltres. Both of them have amazing Rock-type offense of Rock Throw and Stone Edge, but the thing is that they themselves have the exact same stats, the exact same move pool when it comes to its Rock-type offense. You know, surely they're different when it comes to types, therefore they're going to have different moves as well, but the common denominator when it comes to the two is Rock Throw and Stone Edge, making the both of them very tremendous Moltres counters in the Moltres raids. And I gotta say that, you know, when it comes to Golem and Alola Golem, they are amazing powerhouses when it comes to tanking hits as well, with their naturally high defenses. Moltres is gonna have a relatively hard time breaking through these two Pokemon, especially if they are at a high level. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, both of these Pokemon kind of pale in comparison to number one, so let's get to the number one pick. That being, you guessed it, Tyranitar. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this Pokemon without a shadow of a doubt is going to be your best Moltres counter. Not only given the fact that this Pokemon is a Rock type, which by proxy is going to resist Moltres' attacks, but the fact that this Pokemon also has access to double Rock moves, such as Smackdown and Stone Edge, ooh, baby, man, I gotta say, if you were a part of the Larvitar Community Day, and you have an army of Smackdown Tyranitars lined up for attack, Moltres is not going to last around. It is straight up going to go down, because Moltres is not going to be able to take on Tyranitar with Smackdown and Stone Edge, and Tyranitar has the highest attack stat of all Rock-type Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Not to mention also, it has the best overall stats of all Rock-type, and Dark-types too. Not that Dark-types are any relevance here in this situation, but this Pokemon has the highest CP overall of all Rock types, so this definitely puts Tyranitar head and shoulders above the rest of the picks. And it even rivals legendary Pokemon such as Zapdos, such as Kyogre, such as Raikou. You know, the list goes on. Tyranitar, especially with Smackdown and Stone Edge, is going to be your best pick against Moltres. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that right there is going to be concluding this video. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed what you've seen, and I hope that you guys learned something from it. And with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate the like, and hopefully you consider subscribing if you guys are new here. I really and truly appreciate your guys' support. I cannot thank you enough. So with that being said, I say thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next upload.